How did Su do the Duke of Wei? Praised by Zhu Yuanzhang, a man of unparalleled achievements, that in defeating enemies and quelling rebellions. Unrivaled in history, and in both civil and military prowess, that become the most fortunate to master the art of survival. Was it simply luck? Clearly not. Su was truly an exceptional general. Zhu Yuanzhang's description of him that as brave and courageous, unmatched by anyone held true, whether attacking or defending. He rarely made a major mistake, and his military achievements were remarkable. In his early years, he accompanied Zhu Yuanzhang on campaigns across the country, conquering Chuzhou and Hezhou. Later, he rose to prominence, leading troops to eliminate separatist forces such as Chen Yuliang and Zhang Shircheng, laying a solid foundation for Zhu Yuanzhang's unification of the south and the establishment of the Ming dynasty. At the Battle of Poyang Lake, facing a naval force several times larger than his own, Su risked his life to protect Zhu Yuanzhang, leading the charge and suffering numerous wounds, ultimately turning the tide of the battle. After Zhu Yuanzhang proclaimed himself emperor in Nanjing, he appointed Su as the Grand General of the conquering enemy army. Together with his deputy, Zhang Yechen, he led the northern expedition, conquering the Yuan capital and ending Yuan rule in the Central Plains. Thereafter, to consolidate the northern border, Su was repeatedly ordered to attack remnants of the northern Yuan forces that implement a policy of garrisoning the borderlands, stabilizing the situation. As his military achievements accumulated and his status rose, he remained humble and cautious, his demeanor consistent with his previous demeanor. Zhu Yuanzhang praised him as neither arrogant nor impetuous, not greedy for women, nor greedy for wealth, with an upright character, impeccable, and as upright as the sun and the moon. This was a truly high evaluation. However, even the greatest military achievements could not withstand the whims of an emperor. With the Ming dynasty firmly established, and Zhu Yuanzhang securely seated on the throne, the once brother Zhu Chongba, who had shared wine and meat together, had become a scheming ruler. Su understood that their relationship had completely changed from the moment they knelt and pledged their loyalty. Looking at the emperor, who seemed both familiar and unfamiliar, sitting on the dragon throne, Su couldn't help but feel confused and anxious. What path would he take? Zhu Yuanzhang's suspicion of his meritorious officials was palpable. The mansion he bestowed upon Su was located right next to the imperial palace, his own former residence from his time as king of Wu. While others might have been ecstatic about this favor, Su sensed danger. He took his son, Su Huizhu, to view the property, facing the magnificent palace. He sternly warned his son, "We must not move into this place." The reason was simple. This was the emperor's former residence. Moving in would be an act of usurpation and a weapon against him. Behind this honor lay a potentially fatal danger. Su ultimately politely declined the generous gift. But this was only the beginning of Zhu Yuanzhang's probing. It was far from over. On one occasion, Zhu Yuanzhang specifically invited Su to his former residence, the king of Wu, for a drink. Su, already a weak drinker, quickly became tipsy under the emperor's constant urgings. Zhu Yuanzhang didn't allow him to return home. Instead, he ordered him to be carried to his own throne, carefully tucked in with a brocade quilt, while he himself took a nap nearby. When Su awoke in the middle of the night, he drowsily inquired about his whereabouts, and the eunuch told him the truth. Upon hearing this, Su instantly regained consciousness, his terror evident. It said he broke out in a cold sweat. He quickly rolled off the bed, ran to the bottom of the stairs, and prostrated himself, kowtowed repeatedly, exclaiming that "I deserve death. I deserve death." Zhu Yuanzhang couldn't help but laugh at his panic, and his suspicions about Su seemed to dissipate. Su's ability to avoid danger this time wasn't solely due to his quick wit, but also to his usual cautious approach, which instilled in him an almost instinctive wariness of such tests. Su knew that survival under Zhu Yuanzhang required more than military prowess and loyalty. He also needed to maintain his integrity and avoid conflict. He not only shunned money and power, but also women. It is said that after capturing Suzhou, Su encountered a stunningly beautiful woman on the street. Being over 30 years old, he was so captivated that he even sent agents to inquire about her and offer her 1,000 taels of gold as a betrothal gift, which her parents readily agreed to. However, military orders soon followed, forcing Su to leave Suzhou, putting the marriage on hold. A year later, Su returned to Suzhou and recalled the proposed marriage. After careful consideration, he realized that, as a general, marrying at this time could be seen as forced marriage, and he regretted his impulsiveness. So, he decided to cancel the engagement. Naturally, her parents were reluctant, considering their daughter had wasted a year of her youth and a reputation that had been damaged. Finally, Su personally visited her and earnestly begged for her forgiveness, ultimately canceling the marriage. This incident became a local legend, further highlighting Su's noble character and self-discipline. Beyond his personal integrity, Su also mastered the complexities of the imperial court. The Huaishi clique dominated the court at the time, but despite his origins, Su refrained from forming cliques and maintaining a proper distance from other ministers. As the court swirled and Zhu Yuanzhang's persecution of meritorious officials intensified, Su wisely distanced himself from the center of power. He remained stationed in Beijing for extended periods, guarding the frontier while also containing the increasingly powerful and influential prince of Yan, Zhu Di. Even when Zhu Yuanzhang summoned him back to the capital, he often declined, citing ill health. This proactive distance undoubtedly played a significant role in his peaceful end. In 1385, Suda died of a carbuncle on the back at the age of 54. According to historical records, Zhu Yuanzhang was devastated upon hearing the news. He personally selected a burial site for Suda, granting him burial north of Zhongshan Mountain. He also personally wrote the inscription on the stele, posthumously bestowing him the title of King of Zhongshan and enshrining him in the imperial ancestral temple. This most meritorious official of the founding of the Ming dynasty was finally able to enjoy a peaceful old age, a rare achievement during Zhu Yuanzhang's time. Suda's life was a perfect blend of brilliant military exploits and cautious conduct. Through his wisdom and self-discipline, he secured a relatively peaceful end for himself and his family in an era rife with suspicion and murderous intent.